everyone, it's Shadow Vixen, and today we're just back with Arcane Odyssey. Now, if you look at the title, you might be wondering, how do you beat Arcane Odyssey as a pacifist? You have to kill the bosses, and there's other stuff you have to fight along the way, don't you? Well, that's where you're wrong. The rules of this challenge is that I cannot directly attack any enemy. Now, there's multiple ways to not directly attack the enemy. As we'll go throughout this video, we'll see examples of those, and I do hope you guys enjoy this video. After waking up, I found myself on a strange island, all alone. I took a look around and ended up finding someone named Morden. He seems to have been one of our friends and has a lot of knowledge, but he's not too sure where we are himself. He sends us off to go to Redway, which is just straight ahead. But we decided to take a bit of a detour to Elm Island to find some more food and resources before heading to Redway. When getting here, I found someone hiding under the stairs. Her name was Estrid, and she was pretty scared. She told me about there being pirates around here, but me being a pacifist, I was afraid I couldn't help. But what if I killed them in another way? The magic I was born with was ash magic, so I don't have to attack them. They just have to walk into my clouds, and they'll die. I don't have to do anything. They're doing it themselves. This is how I'm going to get through my life. If I cannot kill, this is what I have to do. Now, let's take a pause so I can explain this to you guys. Now, technically, I am the one causing the cloud, which is causing them to get hurt. But this challenge is literally impossible without some sort of alternative like this, and there's going to be other opportunities for me to do other ways of damage that are completely similar to this. So this is the closest way I can deal damage without directly attacking anything. I hope this is fair, but I couldn't see any other way to attack anything other than doing clouds right now, or even later on. So this is the baseline for the challenge, and let's get back into it. After we quote-unquote defeated those pirates, we went and met Estrid, and turns out she's a tavern keeper. For us helping her, she actually gave us a place to sleep, and we definitely needed that. Once we woke up, we got into a change of clothes and headed back downstairs, and Esther told us to go meet their leader, because they might have something for us. And lo and behold, he just gives us a bunch of chores to do. Granted, I'm not excited to do chores for an old man, but it gives us experience, so I went ahead and did them anyway, and after we did all of those, he had one more task for us. He told us about this hermit. Supposedly he was poisoned in the ocean, and he wanted me to go talk to him, and after I started sailing in his direction, sure enough, I saw it. The water was covered in green goo and disgusting, corrosive chemicals? I don't know. And as I approached him, it was clear he wasn't gonna talk without a fight. Finally, Shura admitted defeat. We talked to him, and actually Shura was pretty chill. He agreed to stop poisoning the waters, which he didn't even realize he was doing, and we went back to speak with the chief, and he thanked us. He suggested we go off to Frostmill, and so we did as he said, but not before crafting a snazzy new ship called Silent but Deadly. Why did I name it that? When we arrived at Frostmill, we met with Halfred, which is a good friend of the chief, and he told us about some suspicious rumors happening on the island. There was a bunch of people here who needed help, so I ended up doing that before going to speak to the chief. But he wanted us to go defeat some brigands who were causing some problems, but they also might have advice to why the island is melting. But killing goes against what I believe in, so I try to kill them with my clouds, but not before dying. But on our second try of trying to beat these guys, we did actually do it successfully, and then carry through with the mayor's plan. Now, before we get too far ahead, I want to explain a few things that I failed to before. Firstly, obviously, as I said, I can use clouds to attack enemies, quote-unquote attack, but I can also use gunpowder barrels as my second mode of damage. The barrel is the one doing the damage, not me. I'm just exploding it. For me, I feel like this is the second valid way for us to attack here, and still only one more to go after this that I will show you later on. The other thing I wanted to mention is why I chose Ash Magic. There are a few cloud magic out there, and I actually originally attempted this challenge run on Poison, but 1, the cloud was really small, and 2, the cloud can't even proc Poison, which I believed it would have, but I was wrong, and I was literally just doing 1 to 3 damage every single time they walk into my cloud, and I got all the way to fighting Iris, but I just couldn't beat her. So I did some more research, and it turns out Ash Magic, for 1, has way better DLT when it's in the cloud, and 2, you can make the Ash Cloud grow the more you attack it. I used this to my advantage to actually defeat Iris in this fight, and despite it being a pretty rough fight and even failing the first try, I think this went relatively smoothly.
Restart. Restart.
After beating her senseless into the ground, she was finally willing to talk to us. Apparently she has some bad history with the people from Ravenna, and thought I was with them, but after sorting out our differences, she just kind of left in a hurry, and I don't really know where she went. I climbed back down the mountain and talked to the mayor, and he was very understanding and thankful, and I decided to run a few more quests just so I could level up before I made my way to the Sky Island. Now, in all honesty, I'm not exactly sure what happened to my footage here. I don't know if I forgot to hit record or it got corrupted or what, but I did miss basically the entire quest line of the Sky Islands, apart from fighting the boss, so I do apologize for that. But it was all pretty much standard of anything I've ever done in any previous challenge. And the way I defeated Arish Vista is I just sat in the cave below him and blasted him from above. But now that we are here and ready to fight the next boss, I'm kind of nervous. When I arrived on the supposed island of where this leader would be, I got attacked. There was a bunch of members of the Order around here, and they tried killing me, and actually nearly did. I barely survived, but I did manage to defeat them, and after regenning, it was time to fight someone named Elliot. Are you kidding me? He heals? What kind of game is this? What do I do now? Between his healing, I only do 13 damage per tick, and that's if he walks in my cloud. He would heal like every minute, and I couldn't do anything. I genuinely thought this might be impossible. But do you remember me mentioning there's a third method? Now, I thought level 61 might be fine. I'm at an appropriate level to fight him, but if I want to defeat him, I need to get to level 75. Why? There is a special scroll called Javelin. If I throw this next to him, I'm not attacking him. It's just hurting him because he's next to it. This is the third and final way that I have found to deal damage as a quote-unquote pacifist. So after grinding myself to level 75, I grabbed myself a Javelin scroll, granted from my main account. I don't like to just steal stuff from my other files, but I wasn't about to grind for a Javelin scroll. But anyways, I put it onto my character on this file, and I attempted Elias again. Of course I spared him. I'm a pacifist. I don't want to kill anyone if I don't want to. Actually, that's not what a pacifist stands for. You know what I mean. We headed back to inform Iris, and turns out she recognizes the name Lord Elias. They have some ties to Ravenna. She was right. She said we should head to Sailor's Lodge to see if we can find information there, and when we got there, we found an old friend. Turns out we're both hunting the Order. He saw them leaving the Stepstones in a suspicious manner and heading towards Fort Talos. Took a turn here to not get bombarded by their defenses, but he suggested we take a look around and see if anyone knew anything. And we met this Ravenna pirateer. I don't know why he told us all this information or why there was a hole in the back of the fort. But I told Morden and he thought it was going to be our best chance, and so we went ahead and sailed into it. After him beating himself, he spilled all of the secrets that the generals walked in with some suspicious people and even asked to get knocked out in the end. He might be a masochist. We talk with Morden and decide what to do, and he thinks this should be a stealth mission. And I can be stealthy. Granted, I may have injured a few folk, but not really. They did it to themselves, remember, I'm a pacifist. And I even found some more information listening in. To sum it up, because I know I go through the dialogue pretty fast, is that even the soldiers aren't really aware of what's happening. Which, realistically, is probably a smart move, because they might go and tell people. And we decided to continue along, and we actually run into a dead end. So we head back to meet up with Morden, and we actually find a note.
I'm very sorry, Ray, but I had to leave the fort urgently. There's no time. If you make it to Berenger before he dies, he may be able to explain. Continue through this hallway and make a left at the spiral staircase to reach in. I'll meet you at Ravenna about 2 weeks from now, if all goes well. Take care. From Morden.
That was pretty ominous, but if he says there's no time to waste, there's no time to waste, and I trust him. We continued through and questioned some more guards before finally making our way to Berenger. Berenger was in possession of the Death Curse, which I believe is why Morden was in a rush to go achieve it so the Order would not get it. Does this mean Morden's gonna get this power? I don't know. But Ren showed up and assured us that he would take care of everything, so we just left and went to go see what General Argos was doing. Spying on him, we could find some information, but despite his age, he kicked us out.
Stronger than if I could be, worm. You've broken my armor. It appears that I've used more than just strength to kill you. Enough! I won't just kill you. I'm going to make you suffer.
Elbozo, old man. Just gotta get good. Maybe, find a fountain of youth or something, and maybe you'll be able to kill me. Anyway, let's get out of here. Once we escaped, I had some pretty lethal injuries, and I just couldn't shake this dreading feeling I've had since I escaped. Ravenna's gonna have it out for us now. We have to keep low. The following morning, we arrived back at Sailor's Lodge, and we should head to Ravenna, but I just couldn't help the shaking feeling that there's just something bad there. We have some time to kill before we meet up with Morden anyway. So I decided to run around and do a couple of quests and try and prepare myself a little bit more before I headed to Ravenna. When I felt as prepared I could, granted there's no other quests around I can do, I decided to head to Ravenna, and there's actually some sort of town meeting going on that I decided to stay and listen to. It really didn't seem like there was much, it's just their king departed for a curse. Wait, a curse? That could be what Morden is going after, and that's why he's not here yet. I decided to talk to some people to see what's going on, and they tell us to go to Rubica because there's even more stuff happening over there. It turns out Mayor Tilly was kidnapped from Paletown, and after asking for more details, they instead just asked me to ask other people for details, and I reported them what I could find. Supposedly they're over in Tiberia, and that's where they went to go search, and supposedly I was supposed to follow. Before we went to go search for those kidnappers, I wanted to run a couple of errands to level up a bit more, whether it was me breaking some trees for this random guy or getting Edward Kenton's sword from the Navy. Getting more into technicality of this challenge again, I don't want to pursue any further on the storyline than the kidnappers, because then I'll be locked out of entering any town in Ravenna. They will just kill me and I won't be able to do any quests in there, so I want to level myself up so I can actually do those quests, and then actually do those quests until I get to a comfortable level. Now that I feel a more comfortable level, I decided to go spy on the kidnappers and what they were talking about. It turns out their town is just really poor and wanted some money to help pay for everything. They wanted 100,000 galleons, which, honestly, that's kind of chump change compared to my main account, but I understand needing money. And after they ran away, I went to go speak to them, and they were really not a fan of that, so I ended up leaving, saying I'd come back for Tilly later, and I ran into the Shining Plains to hide from the Ravenna army. But I ran into something different there. Someone ended up interrupting our fight, which ended up doubling our HP, and I also like to solo every boss in this challenge, so I ended up choosing to just leave and restart, except I was gonna have to come back. I couldn't really do anything to Karina between her healing on second phase. So I ended up going to Shell Island and leveling quite a bit before actually making my way back here, and this time, I was pretty successful.
I didn't expect you to have such durability. Let's see who can last the longest.
Finally, Karina admitted defeat. With us making so much noise with our fight, I had to get out of there. I head up onto the mountains to maybe get a view of where anything was, but that turned out to be my fatal mistake.
I finally found you. That's all it took? Argos must have been getting an age more than we thought, if this runt was able to kill him.
The next thing I remembered was waking up in shackles in this dark and gloomy dungeon. I ask what's going on, but I guess I'm a prisoner. He sends me to sleep, and when I wake up, I'm just instructed to go mine. And I don't really have much of a choice, so I listen to his instructions. I find an old man down here, and he actually had some good stories, and even gave me some advice about this pale lady who could maybe help me get out of here. And after going to talk to her, she informed me that it was none other than the king himself, who was the leader behind the order. Now, he's not the ruler of the order, but he's definitely one of the highest ranking members. But with nothing else to do, I continue for a month slaving away. I can't rid of myself of that dreading feeling. But then, they found me. They're here to save me. I couldn't be any less thankful. I go and gather my things with a sinking feeling in my heart. But I continue through their plan, and we end up running into Calvis. He wanted to fight, and I simply noped out and ran away. I did not feel prepared for fighting Calvis just yet, so I ended up running away to do a couple of quests and getting my dodge reflex first. But while doing that, I ran into a different encounter I wasn't expecting, and actually fought another boss. In all honesty, I kind of forgot about him until now. He was pretty easy actually. Granted, I am pretty overleveled, but after defeating him, I went to go get my dodge reflex before finally facing Calvis, with my feeling of dread only stronger.
It disgusts me that I'd use my grandfather's power against a worm like you. Even if it's a fraction of what he had. No dies, save some pride.
all of my efforts, I managed to defeat Calvis first try, and even Neviro's okay. I don't kill him here, I just knock him unconscious, or my friends take care of him. I'm a pacifist, I didn't kill him. But Morden and Neviro are really hurt, so we try to escape, and we reach the shore, and, well, the prince greets us. Thankfully, even after all of our bad injuries and high off stress, he was a relatively easy fight. And after running away from him, we needed to get away from the Ravenna army. Now, technically, using my boat is attacking, except I count this as not breaking the rules of the challenge, because I'm not the one firing the cannons, I'm just telling someone else to. Actually, I'm not even telling them to, Kenton is. So, I think this is fair, and we make our way to Winrow Island and settle down. Don't even ask what I did to them. I've done unspeakable things that no one wants to see. Up above, though, we heard some sort of flame or something. Maybe it was the Ravenna army? I went to go check it out for everyone, as I guess I'm the least injured. And sure enough, it's actually Warren. He explained some stuff about the Order, and even revealed that his true identity was not Ren, but Warren. And he even told us about something called an awakening, which apparently if I go meditate, I can awaken early. Usually this doesn't happen until a later age, but if I just connect with myself, I could awaken early and be even stronger. Now, to me, that sounds like a pretty good deal, so I went ahead and found some places to meditate. And I got spoken to.
Long have I waited for a legacy with a strong sense of justice. Come to me. Seek your destiny at Mount Othris. After taking this power from Poseidon, I got the opportunity to choose a second magic for myself. Now, in all honesty, I don't need any other magic other than Ash. It's not going to help me. So, with this out of the way, I just chose Explosion because it's technically synergy if I decide to play this file in any other way. But we decided to head back to Winrow and discuss with Warden and the team, and we decide to head to the Nimbus Sea. When entering the sea, we didn't have many landmarks to go off of, so we went in the best direction we known for Samaria, and we had a pretty rude encounter. After waking up, we got dragged in by some pirates, and they weren't gonna go without a fight. After using the rock, not me, to beat the information out of them, we found out they're here on a mission and they have a leader named Captain Maria. I went ahead and searched around and finally found her ship, and after finding a way to sneak inside, she had taken some Sumerian soldiers captive. I wasn't quite sure why, but I ushered them out and headed on top of the boat, which is where I ended up meeting her.
Me aim was a bit off. Don't worry, lad. We'll miss the second time. You know, let's see how you fight. You're a real pest. I think I have to use my full power against somebody like you. Take this!
After having a very close call with her, we got some information out of her, but we got most of her information from her notes. But we don't have much time to worry about that right now. We need to get out of here to the Sumerian kingdom. So we made our way there, and these people we saved actually brought us to meet with Empress Nyla. She wanted our help, and we just labeled ourselves as mercenaries and said we could. She sent us over to Port Mistral to explore if there were any Karak sightings, because there was supposedly something going on over there. But as we got closer, the whole island was on fire. Searching around, they couldn't find any survivors, except one. The whole place was raided, and before we even got to speak too much to him, some more approached. We did manage to fend them off, and after meeting up with Morden and Iris, we only saw something even worse. We had to escape. We had to get out of this island and get to Nyla. We left as soon as we can with Karak's ships chasing us, with not wanting us to get back, but we outsailed them and got back to Nyla. We met with the general, and she gave us all her instructions and plans. And that's where I'm at right now. I need to head to the Sky Islands here in the Nimbus Sea. Iris, Morden, and I talk it over, and we agree to their terms, and we agree to go our separate ways. But this is where the story of Ray ends. That's not intentional, I swear. Right now, there's just no more to the story, to be completely transparent, and I don't have anything left to continue on with this story anymore. If you guys did enjoy this video, I do hope you guys would consider liking and subscribing. It will show me that you guys do enjoy this new type of content I'm trying out, and I do hope I can make more like this. If you wish to see Ray Ends continue in full releases, assuming that will ever happen, let me know down below, and I'll keep this file, and we can continue it next time. But other than that, it's been Shadow Vixen, and I'll see you guys next time.